man himself, Tony Bruno, and the Tony Bruno Show starts at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Martinez Company from 6 p.m. to 8, and we've got more to come. The Tony Bruno Sports Network. Download the app. Tell your friends the game is on. TBSA.
Feels good to see the world getting loose. Feels good to see the world getting loose. Right. I don't know about you, Sack Noel. I don't know about you, Phenom. I don't know about you, White Shadow. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I'm 2 plus 2, I'm for sure. You down, I'm down, baby, let's go. You stop, you drop, baby, then roll. You twerk, you pop, booty so swole. I'd hate me too if I were you. And when it comes to billions, I'll take 2. It's only one life, you don't get 2. So live life, don't let it live you.
I got a pocket full of $100 bills. Put on a jacket, cause these diamonds give you chills. 2 shots I'm running, 2 out I'm stunning tonight. Yeah. Look in the mirror, I'm like, who the hell is he? So many whips and cribs, I'm losing track of keys. Ooh, up to something. Ooh, yeah, I love it, alright.
Yeah, I'm drinking out the bottle. Get loose, hanging with supermodels. Get loose, feel like I hit the lotto. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good.
It is Wednesday evening, and we are live in the Tony Bruno Sports Network studios via Tampa, Florida, and also via Bristol, Pennsylvania, courtesy of Burlington County there, PA. I am Angel Martinez. He is Ryan F., and we are Martinez Company live on this Wednesday evening with a balmy, I don't know, I think it's about 65 still. Nope, actually 57 degrees. A little bit cooler than the usual here in Florida, but not to be unexpected as we do come down this time of the year in December, and then it goes up, it goes down, and it goes back up again. But no worries, because tonight we're getting down to about 46 degrees, 40 way out here in the burbs, and then eventually we'll get ourselves all nice and warmed up by tomorrow, 75 degrees, 80 by the weekend, and no one is complaining whatsoever. So, thankfully, I just scared the living daylights out of Tony and Miss Robin as the old voice disguise came in, and they thought maybe it was Jesus coming down. But no, it was just me being a prankster and being able to get those two on their toes because they had both no idea exactly what was going on. But thank you all for tuning in tonight and watch us here on the social medias. And again, on the Tony Bruno Sports Network app, please download the apps because as you guys heard, the breaking news earlier today, the Tony Bruno Sports Network is number 5 in Kuwait. Yes, not number 15, not number 10, number 5. And it is climbing the charts. It's almost like, was it Casey Kasem back in the day? Now climbing up to number 6.
I'm Casey Kasem.
Exactly. So now we're at number 5 there, Tony Bruno Sports Network. And thank God for this beautiful network because it is the best damn sports network on the planet. Soon in the universe. Again, Martinez Company here live from 6 to 8 p.m. It is a Wednesday evening. If you guys would like to call into the show and or text into the show, you can at 844-644-TONY. That is 844-644-8669. So this evening, as there's tons, as always, to get into, and the first comment of the evening is already coming in, could be Joey B. There it is.
It is.
Joey B, the first one of the evening. Neff color coordinating his headphones and hoodies now. Tony Bruno wearing off on him. Listen, I was going to save that for a little bit later on, but that's Joey B, you're right, because that's exactly why he got the orange headphones to go with his orange Florida Gator blue jersey. And for those who are tuning in, and if you're listening on the radio, Brian does have the orange that actually matches his Florida Gators. That'll change. Pretty soon it'll be Kansas City red, Pittsburgh black, and whatever else comes down the pike.
They glow in the dark, too.
Oh, wonderful. So they are Pittsburgh Pirates colors. If they glow in the dark. That's you can find yourself or you can listen to yourself in the dark. One of those two?
Both.
Yeah, I bet. All right. Well, the Cowboys, McCarthy apparently going through an emergency appendectomy. Now they're calling it an acute appendectomy, if I remember correctly. Also, the Vikings sticking with Josh Dobbs. I mean, okay, that's not bad. So he had one bad game. So doesn't anybody else. So they're sticking with him. I think it's good for his confidence because obviously, Kirk Cousins is not going to be back until next year, which, if you guys heard us last night, could he also, I know Minnesota, I would think Minnesota would want to bring him back. I mean, I could be wrong, Ryan, but I think they want to bring him back. If not, I guess, before we get into the laundry list of stuff here, who do you think would be a great fit for Mr. Cousins?
I don't know. I thought a couple years ago the Kirk Cousins experiment should have been over in Minnesota because I just don't know if he's the kind of quarterback that will lead you to a Super Bowl. So they've got talent. I mean, Justin Jefferson, the Addison kid, has panned out. It's not like their defenses come around. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to bring him back or not, to be quite honest with you. So I don't know where he would wind up. There's a whole slew of teams out there that could use the quarterback. Jets. You go down. Who else can you think of? Maybe Tennessee. There's just a whole laundry list of to steal a term from you. Laundry list of teams that would like to have his services. Put it this way. I don't think he's a game manager. I think it's too much of a stretch to say he's a game manager. I think he's a serviceable quarterback. Whether he can take you over the hump, I don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. I actually think that the Vikings, and I don't know how to be able to swing it, the Chargers are wasting Justin Herbert's career. If he were to be put into that offense with Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, oh my God, the kid would probably be in the MVP conversation. So that's what I would like to see happen, but it probably won't.
It probably won't. Nonetheless, who knows? The offseason, I mean, it's a little ways away, so a lot can happen between here and there. And by the way, thank you once again, everyone who's tuning in here to Tony Bruno Sports Digital Radio Network. We do appreciate everyone listening in. Also, Aaron Rodgers. I get tired of this dude. I really do. And I'm sorry if you're, a former Aaron Rodgers Green Bay fan, which I'm pretty sure you guys are probably great and are glad that he's gone. But this guy, he's like the weather. He just changes. 1 minute, he's all about the Jets. I'm glad I'm here. This is great. I'm going to teach young Zach Wilson here to be the best quarterback he can be. Then, of course, in Aaron Rodgers fashion, didn't do anything to help out Zach Wilson. Then goes on, which let's just go with Pat McAfee. You're there all the time. Apparently, they come to your house now at this point, but you're there all the time. And I'll get into it because he's nerve-wracking. Honest to God, you guys thought I went on an MLB rant last night. By the way, thank you for the messages that came in. A lot of people end up loving it. If you guys missed it, watch the episode last night, a little after 7 o'clock, when Rich Quinones was on with us last night. And you probably heard more slang words or swear words, or whatever the kids are calling it today, drip, whatever the hell it is. Probably the most that you guys have heard ever come from me. But that's because there was a point that went with the MLB rant. So if you guys missed it, go back to yesterday's episode, and you guys can hear it all. I think it has over 10 million views. Of course, I'm stretching the truth there, but it's got over 10. That's good. 10 is good. We're aiming for 11 today. So over 11 views, it'd be phenomenal. We do have more than 11, folks. I am kidding around. So if you don't stay around for the rest of it, don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses on the way out. Anyways, trade rumors connected to Tyler Glasnow in the Cubbies. That's a possibility. Of course, Tyler Glasnow, the pitcher, 6-foot tree pitcher, not 3. 6-foot tree pitcher from your Tampa Bay Rays. Also, we'll get into T. Swift, as she doesn't care, and I think a lot of people aren't caring about it either. Also, why the A's and the Nationals were probably the worst losers out of the 2024 MLB draft. And, I mean, you can look at it that way. I guess you can look on the opposite side. Do the A's at this point really care if they were the worst losers? Probably not, because in a couple of years, they're going to be winners. Being out there in Vegas, they may not be a winning team, but they'll be in a winning city, one or the two. But they'll get their act together, so I'm not worried about it. Also, Lionel Messi, named the 2023 Time Athlete of the Year after joining Inter Miami, the football club down there in Miami, which this year, at the beginning of the year, by the way, you guys were getting tickets for $2, $3, $5, I think, max. Soon as he hits after week 1, the second time he's home, a lot of tickets went to $1,000, $1,500, $3,000, $4,000. So Good luck trying to get tickets next year. If you're a season ticket holder, great. But get ready to pay the pretty penny because someone is passing on the savings, and it's not to him. It's to you guys. So enjoy, Miami. Also, Adam Silver's latest comments about making the NBA expansion even more likely. And if you don't know what that means, is LeBron James is trying to say to bring a team out there to Vegas. Oh, and by the way, what a rig job last night to make sure that LA was in the in-season tournament finals. I don't even know if I want to get into it because now, come on. First of all, it's the most ridiculous thing the NBA can do. And the only reason why they're doing it, truthfully, is because no one watches the NBA after week one. Everybody's all excited. They're happy. Basketball is back, blah, blah, blah. But don't forget, then obviously the colleges start. And everybody watches more college ball, let's be honest, up until Christmas. Then everybody tunes back into the NBA for the Christmas games. That's all cute, wonderful. And then they're done because, again, college ball takes over, especially during March Madness. And then in April, more people start getting into the NBA because now you're getting closer to that playoff push. So they decided to do this in-season tournament thing. I hate the floors. I just think that color job, that color scheme, it just looks ridiculous. I don't understand why you just couldn't keep the same color scheme that you've had with your team. But again, the team's paid a pretty penny for it. They got to put it out there. I think if they were going to do something, change it up, just make it look like basketball instead of looking like a raceway with like paint that was thrown on the floor. Whatever. Anyways, don't want to get into it too much because if not, I'll probably go ballistic on that one as well. All right, listen, folks. It's not like I'm disgusted with sports or anything else like that. Far from it. I just think the NBA could have done a better job when it comes to in-season tournament. But unfortunately, the Lakers are in shocking surprise, it's with LeBron as well. So I don't get it. Come on. Don't tell me this crap is not fixed. Please. 3 times they gave the opportunity to the Lakers to win the game last night, and that's exactly what the Lakers ended up doing. So NBA fans, you're welcome. That's the product that they're putting out there. Everybody talks about the NFL, MLB, everybody fixing the NBA. That in-season tournament is absolutely ridiculous. But people are still going to watch because they want to see who the winner's going to be. Shocker, it's going to be Lakers. Mark that down, 6-12, 12-6, 2023. Your Lakers are going to be your in-season tournament champions because they know they can't win the actual NBA championship. But, April, June, May, all that good fun stuff, it's a far ways from now. So anything can happen as long as they stay healthy. And Father Time doesn't catch up to LeBron. By the way, Bronny is making strides, getting better. Make sure he is healthy so he can get back into practice. Hopefully soon he'll be playing some few games. But it's good to see that his son is getting better. That's really important as far as his health to make sure that he is getting better because he is going to take over. Bronny's going to take over for now. You're not going to be the next LeBron James. There's only one LeBron James. You are not going to be your dad, but be you. If you can be better than your dad, great. If you're the same as your dad, good. If you're worse than your dad, not so much. Joey B, of course, the Lakers are in. It's all a joke and marketing gimmick. Lots of naive people watching thinking it's real. WNBA equals WWE. Absolutely true, Joey B. Absolutely true. You can't tell me otherwise that it's not fixed. There's no friggin' way. Who else did you want in there? Okay, let's think about it. What would be probably the lowest rated in-season final game matchup? Utah Jazz and the Atlanta Hawks. Would anybody watch that? Nobody. Nobody. Let's be honest. Nobody would. People will be tuning out just like, oh my God, what is this garbage? Oh, well, that's who you have. But you put the Lakers in there, that's like saying the Lakers and the Knicks, the Lakers and the Celtics. Who else? Lakers and the Heat. Lakers and what's that Minnesota team?
Timberwolves?
Yeah. No, sorry. What was the other one? I can't think with Greek Freak.
Oh, Milwaukee Bucks.
There you go. Even that would be more entertaining, but think about it. If you spent money and saying, boy, I can't wait to see who the finals are going to be, Utah and Atlanta? No one would end up watching that. Joey B here with another comment right out of the gate, 3 in a row. He says, I'd rather watch Neff dance and Latin music on YouTube than Jazz and Hawks. That might be interesting. Place your bets. You never know. Never know what kind of music. Wes?
I was just going to say, it makes me laugh that you are worrying about this so much that you put that much thought into it. You know, I even forgot that the NBA in-season tournament was going on. That's how much. That's how much I'm thinking about it. So, yeah, it just gives me a chuckle and a giggle and a tickle of my fancy to see you, like, the redness that it keeps boiling up to the top of your head thinking about the NBA in-season tournament. And by the way, it's official. At 6:15, I have officially entered the NCAA transfer portal.
No, I'm great. That's good. So did Joey B yesterday. Everybody
else is.
Exactly. And by the way, I don't know what DeSantis is going to do. Listen, I reside here in Florida, obviously here in the Tampa area. I absolutely love it. You're adding $1 million to this whole entire thing is absolutely ridiculous. I just, listen, it is what it is, unfortunately. Neff's colors coordination equals the NBA in-season court colors designs. There you go. Joey could not put it any better. That's exactly. So if you guys are watching and you see what Neff has on, that's it. That's exactly what it looks like on the NBA floor. So, listen, whatever, man.
I've got other colors to bust out if you want me to. I can change for each segment.
I'm quite sure you can. I've seen you do it many a time, so I'm quite sure you can. I just, to me, it's just, I'm not a fan of it. Just leave the NBA the way it is. I think everybody was fine with it. There was nothing wrong with it, but everybody wants to just keep going over and over and over with it. So it's just one of those things. But anyways, Taylor Swift, before we get into it, because I'm going to start off with that because once again, as Ryan's been saying, there's a lot of distractions, and KC, they know it. There's been too much of Kelsey. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's just you see him in every commercial possible. Not even just locally in the Kansas City, Missouri area. I mean, just everywhere. It's just ridiculous. And I get it. You know, the Chiefs right now are on cloud nine. You know, the defending Super Bowl champions. You know, they've won, 2 in the last 5. I get all that stuff. And great for them. I'm not hating on Kansas City whatsoever. But the distractions are now starting to, I guess, not even rear its ugly head because now it's there. Then you have Taylor Swift, who now, what was it? Kelsey bought like a $17 million mansion in Missouri. I didn't even know they had $17 million, Missouri mansions. I had no idea. I mean, when I was in the military, I went out there to Missouri. Well, I didn't see many out there, but times changed. That was way back in '88. So things end up changing. Joey B says, OMG Taylor Swift. Neff actually listens to Taylor Swift on his orange headphones while doing the show. It could be.
No.
Could be, Joey.
No.
It could be.
No.
But anyways, he bought this $17 million, mansion for her, basically. She took 3 truckloads of her stuff from her house to camp out at his place for 3 weeks before she heads out to Japan to start her overseas tour. Because then after that, they won't see each other for a while. Skype, Zoom, whatever else they do after that, that's up to them. But she's becoming quite the distraction, I guess. And I don't know if Andy Reid will actually be man enough to say, listen, I understand you two are in a relationship. I know a lot of my guys are in relationships, but can you guys just kind of tone it down a bit? We're trying to win games here. We're trying to get back to the Super Bowl. We are the defending Super Bowl champions. We would like to actually win without worrying about how much we have to come back from. Because you've seen it, and Ryan, you talked about it, just like the Eagles, they've been playing comeback. It's not like before. Usually when they lead, everybody knows for the most part, I would say, at least 82% chance of a winning ratio when they start out scoring first and lead going into the half. And they've been playing catch-up ever since. So, she, according to her, and I guess I'll get into her, she says she doesn't care about pissing off a few dads, Brads, and Chads at Travis Kelce's NFL games. Because according to Times Person of the Year for 2023, it's a familiar one for football fans, which is Taylor Swift. Now, I'm not by any means knocking her because you know what? She does give a lot. That's one thing I will say and will defend about Taylor is that she takes care of her stage crew, her road crew. I mean, she gave out some awesome bonuses. And even prior to that, prior to the pandemic, I know she had a lot of fans that used to go out to her house, and she used to give a lot back. So, I understand it. And then there was a complaint about the movie that she just made, which apparently got Movie of the Year, which is her tour.
Right.
I couldn't believe that fans actually complained and they said, why is she charging us? It should be for free. First of all, it was $20. How much did you spend on Taylor tickets? She's got to make that money to who? The executives, the producers, all these people. Did the movie company go out there and say, hey, Taylor, this is on us. Don't worry about it. We understand you give a lot back, but this is on us. No, they want money, and rightfully so. She made a lot of money in the movie theaters, and then it's $20. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have spent $20 on a lot of dumber things. So it was $20. Her fans were saying, oh, my God, the Swifties. I can't believe that we actually have to pay for this, that we have to, watch this movie and actually pay for it. All right, no big deal. But you know what? She's done a lot for you guys and girls out there that have been fans because I'm not mocking her for that whatsoever because she has done a lot. So I want people to come after me and saying, why do you hate? I don't hate Taylor Swift. She is an amazing woman because she has done a ton. It's different when you're up there in the broadcast booth with everyone else and your man's out there in the field and everybody's coming to see you. Obviously, we're coming to see him first, but now there are more and more fans coming out there to see you because you're the hottest ticket in town. In an interview with the magazine's annual award, the global pop star opened up about dating Kansas City Chiefs all-pro tight end Travis Kelce and the realities of showing up to his games as such a high-profile figure. Quote, I'm just there to support Travis, Swift told Time. I have no awareness of it. I'm being shown too much and pissing off a few dads, Brads, and Chads. Swift's frequent appearances during NFL broadcasts began in September when she provided her dedicated Swifties with long-awaited evidence of a romantic relationship with Kelce by attending the team's Week 3 win over the Chicago Bears. After Swift enjoyed the victory with Kelce's mother, Donna, she was seen leaving the stadium with the 8-time Pro Bowler. She and Travis had apparently been seeing each other for months at that point. Quote, by the time I went to the first game, we were a couple, Swift said. I think some people think they saw our first date at that game. We would never be psychotic enough to hard launch in a first date. No, well, and I guess that's fine. But she also had debunked anybody when they talked about like, are you guys together? And she kept saying, no, no, no. The only time we heard yes was when she actually appeared at the stadium because we had heard that he was pursuing her for the longest. The old-fashioned way, the way you used to do things before, not via phone, not via 100 million agents that they both have. He actually reached out and wanted to get together with her. And obviously they're together now. So for her to saying that, we didn't, yes, you did. Say whatever you want, but yes, you did it on national TV. But anyways, since then, the novelty of Swift's presence hasn't seemed to totally wear off for production crews. Her handshake with Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes' wife, Brittany, was aired on CBS during a victory over the Los Angeles Chargers in October. Swift took a trip to Lambeau Field on Sunday as the Chiefs fell to the Green Bay Packers, their first loss with her in attendance. NBC's cameras panned to her before the game as her presence was excitedly announced. Quote, I don't know how they would, I don't know what suite I'm in, she told the Time. There's a camera like a half mile away and you don't know where she is or where it is. And you have no idea where the camera is putting you in the broadcast. So I don't know if I'm even being shown 17 more times or not. So apparently, some of the fans, they don't like that she's being shown, 30, 40, 50 times. Does it bother me? I'm not a KC fan, so I don't care. I mean, you can shake it off if you want to. No pun intended there. Taylor Swift song. You're welcome. But, whatever's. I guess for me, again, I'm not a KC fan. It doesn't distract me. And if it's distracting the entire team, please stay in there. Therefore, the other guy on the other side here has nothing to celebrate at the end of the season.
Let me get this straight. He bought a $17 million mansion for her, but she's worth $1 billion.
Correct. Makes sense, doesn't it? Mathematically. He took out his advocate to make sure he had enough.
Look, with the Kansas City Chiefs, they're 8-4. Too many commercials. Too many Swifties. Andy Reid's doing commercials with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is doing commercials with Travis Kelce. I'm surprised. The State Farm guy showed up for the one game. So, again, when you win a Super Bowl and it breeds success, people are going to be tugging at you left and right. And again, it's just there's just way too many outside things going on rather than just concentrating on football. Now, did they get away with it last year? Yeah, but there were no Swifties. They did a commercial here or there. Really, Patrick Mahomes is really only doing State Farm commercials. Kelce wasn't doing the COVID thing and he is the Shaquille O'Neal of the NFL. Shaquille O'Neal's everywhere, NBA. He's got his hands in everything. and now Kelsey's sort of doing the same thing. So, look, again, 8-4, not where they want to be. I think they're still sitting third or fourth in the playoff race as far as seeding. So, and they got a tough game coming up this week. And to be quite honest with you, as a Chiefs fan, I'm getting sick and tired of all the outside stuff. It's time for you to focus on football. These last 5 weeks, if you want to get back to where you want to go and win again, these last 5 weeks are crucial. So, and I'm just going to throw it out there now on Wednesday. I do not think they're going to beat the Buffalo Bills at home. I don't like what I'm seeing at all. The defense has started to slip a little bit. The offense really hasn't really put together a consistent game all year, other than maybe the Bears game where they blew the Bears out. I just don't like what I'm seeing, and it starts at the top. Andy Reid has got to crack the whip and say, guys, we've got to make a 5-week push. Because if we don't, the Broncos lost, I get it. But they're still only sitting 2 games back of you. So as a Chiefs fan, I'd be a little nervous. And I am. So.
All right, well, guess what? That's going to be it's going to be out for judge and jury to decide, because at this point, I think
it is what it is, Angel. They have what they have. You know what I mean? The situation is what it is. So it's either they're going to have to make a decision these last 5 weeks. Either we focus on football, or we do all these other things, secondary to football. So if they can't concentrate on getting back to the Super Bowl and maybe going 5-0 these last 5 games, then they're not going anywhere. That's exactly what I'm saying now. I do not like what I see out of this football team right now.
No, they may not like it, but until they do something about it, that's it. And from what I understand it, what is it? Friggin' what's his face there? Number 86. What's his name? Their former tight end
86?
from the Cardinals.
Not Goddard.
I know. I'm drawing the same blank.
Zach Ertz.
There you go. So Ertz supposedly is in the running for Kansas City, so we'll see. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, when we come back from the break, we'll get into some more Jets nonsense. Cowboys, we hope that obviously McCarthy, again, as much as I like to have fun with Dallas fans, I hope he's fine. I'm not going to say anything negative about him, because it absolutely sucks when you have to go down for any portion of time. But he says he's going to come back for the Sunday game. I would think so, because obviously it's an important matchup coming up, as it is Dallas week, as we all know, in Philly. So hopefully he gets better. And, after the break, we will get into a lot more. Don't forget, you guys can call into the show and or text the show at 844-644-TONY. That is 844-644-8669. And or make your comments here live on the social medias. We do appreciate it. And don't forget, as always, to download the Tony Bruno Sports Network app on Android and Apple, so you don't miss anything from the digital over-the-air app radio station here, everywhere, and wherever you may reside. So, since we talked about Taylor, you guys can enjoy this one. Ryan might not be able to hear it, but everybody else will. So we'll talk to you guys right after the break.
You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio, he perfected it.
Do you know what brand sells the most work shoes in America? Skechers. Why? Skechers has the best looking safety toe and slip resistant shoes around. They've got superior quality and simply incredible prices, but many people get them just for the style. So you can enjoy tough, steel-toed protection and slip resistant soles anywhere, even if you don't need them for work. And since they're Skechers, you know they're going to be comfortable with Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam. Find your new pair of Skechers safety toe and slip resistant work shoes at a Skechers store, at Skechers.com, or wherever work shoes are sold.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
How much is safety and peace of mind worth to you? Severe weather can happen suddenly, and the AccuWeather app gives you more accurate and timely warnings than any other source, right down to the street level. A Premium Plus subscription on the AccuWeather app costs less than a cup of coffee each month, and with it, you get the fastest and most accurate alerts to keep you and your loved ones safer. Clear, concise, and actionable forecasts with superior accuracy. Download the AccuWeather app and choose a Premium Plus subscription today.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Now back to the biggest sports network on the planet, the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Ay. Fonzie. Chihuahua. Oh, oh no, oh no. Oh. Hey. Go. Sí, sabes que ya llevo un rato mirándote. Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. Chihuahua. Vi que tu mirada ya estaba llamándome. Muéstrame el camino que yo voy. Oh, tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso. Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firma las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Sube, 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 sube. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo.
Y como siempre, gracias a ustedes por estar aquí con nosotros. Martinez Company, yo soy Ángel Martínez, es Ryan. Juntos somos Martinez Company. Muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros en el show. Ya veo que Joey B tiene algo de decir, pero muchas gracias a ustedes por downloading the app. Si no lo tienen o no lo tienen, vayan al Apple y Google Store, así para que puedan encontrar. Tiene poner el Tony Bruno Sports Network, ahí lo encuentra, lo pone en su teléfono y cuando están en el carro, sigue para adelante, porque como Tony dice todo el tiempo, bonito, hombre, bonito. Y si quieres llamar el show, hágalo al 844-644-TONY. Eres 844-644-8669. And by the way, those who always hit the number one as we come into quarter number 2 here on the bottom half of the hour, thank you all for tuning in. It is Angel Martinez, Ryan F. Martinez Company here live on the Tony Bruno Sports Network radio network, digital radio network. And we thank you all for tuning in, for downloading the apps. And if you haven't, please download it on the App Store and or the Google Play Store so you guys do not miss it, and or watch the show live as we do here on the social medias so you guys can see all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. May not be much, but sometimes, like we did last night, Friday night, when we had the Friday Night Funnies with Delco Dave, You never know what's going to happen. And if you guys want to tune into the show, or excuse me, call in and or text the show, you can at 844-644-TONY, 844-644-8669. Also, at the beginning of the morning, wake up with your bagel and your coffee, maybe an egg, who knows, a sausage. No one never knows. But do it with the Pete Shepard Show. Pete Shepard on from 7 to 10 a.m., followed by Defo and Luby. They got into some good MLB talk today, along with some other stuff. They also talked a little bit about the in-season tournament, which they didn't care, like the rest of us. But Defo and Luby are on from 10 to 12, the mid-mornings, the best of between 12 and 3 of Tony Bruno. And then Tony Bruno follows his own self after the best of from 3 to 6 p.m. with Miss Robin. Today with Scott Hartnell. Excuse me. That was a fun guest, a fun time. That was absolutely incredible. So if you guys missed it, that was a great time. So you never know who's going to call in tomorrow. He has a big show lineup. Mike Tirico and Mike Orvin. It's ridiculous, but it's going to be fun. I can't wait to hear those guys on there. I'm jealous. I will say, I wish I was down here in studios, because even if they're not there in studio, it'd be great to talk to them. But nonetheless, I'm always happy that we can get together, especially during, if you guys missed it, on the crossover. I did scare literally the ever-living crap out of both of them by disguising the voice. So if you guys missed it, the crossover, one of these days you guys will be able to hear it before we go on, but we never know what's going to happen. So anyways, thank you all for tuning in. A couple of comments that are coming in here. One, Pat Bernard, the man, one of the now legends.
What
Pat
up?
Bernard. What's up, Pat? Jake Kiefer, future family, always family. What up? Love the song, Let's Go. Started dancing in my kitchen. There you go. That's the way to do it, Jake. Jake, by the way, a huge Dallas fan. And you missed some Dallas talk yesterday, Jake, so thank you for tuning in. As always, I do appreciate it. And Joey B says that Neff, so lost. LOL. Put Taylor Swift back on, more on his comfort zone. As always with Joey B, but thanks to Jake and Pat for all tuning in. And you out there as well, listen to us on the digital radio airwaves. We do appreciate it as the network continues to get bigger and better. And we add more shows. And we hope, by the way, that AJ Johnson starts to feel better. He was supposed to start on Monday. He was feeling a little ill, so he will start next week. I did text him today. He said he did feel a little bit better. So that's great to hear, at least with AJ. And by the way, folks, to put all this stuff together, it's a lot of work. AJ does work for FAU. I started doing work recently for USF. When you're doing that full-time job, as AJ has, as I have, as Ryan has, there's a lot of work that's involved. And then I come home, put all this stuff together. Then there's a show after this one, which is Talking Hoops with Ron Briscoe, the gentleman who was able to put together Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James over on Nike. He is one of 4 hosts on Talking Hoops, along with Coach Mack and Coach Johnson. So if you guys want to hear some Talking Hoops, after this show, it fires right up. Well, about 40 minutes later, because there's conversation that's going to happen afterwards. But at 8:40, normally it starts directly after the show, but there's going to be a little break in between, and we'll kick it off at 8:40, if not a little bit earlier. So you guys want to hear Talking Hoops? It's a good one tonight. You can watch it on broadstsouth.com. Once again, broadstsouth.com. Look under the live shows /radio, and you'll find it about 3/4 of the way down on the webpage, and then you guys can watch it there as well. If you're on the road, hey, take a look, and you'll be able to find it. So with that being said, we are talking about McCarthy, and I'll read you exactly what ended up happening here. Via Yahoo Sports, this is about 4:24 or so this afternoon. As it states, the Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy will undergo an appendectomy after experiencing abdominal pain Wednesday morning, the team announced. McCarthy is expected to be released from the hospital later Wednesday, and the team says they anticipate him being available to coach Sunday night's game against the Philadelphia Eagles. McCarthy reportedly was out of surgery in the afternoon. The team's coordinators, Dan Quinn and Brian Schottenheimer and John Fossil, will handle practice as long as McCarthy is out. Should McCarthy not be able to coach Sunday night, Quinn could be an option to lead the Cowboys in their big NFC East matchup. Quinn filled in for McCarthy in December 21 when McCarthy tested positive for COVID-19 and had to miss a game. Boy, you guys remember that? Do you see what's coming, by the way, folks? Yeah, more of that nonsense. They're ramping it up. So if they didn't kill you the first time around, boy, oh boy, the government is waiting for you to get some more vaccinations so you can stick it to yourselves and then you can stick it to everybody else. Stupid ass freaking nonsense with a. Oh my God! I get the COVID shot. Good. Count down, just the numbers. Count them down. When your blood starts going, where am I supposed to be going? You're welcome. Brought to you by your federal government. Keep taking it. Let me know how it works out for you. Anyways, you really think that the team or the tough Irishman is going to miss this game? Quinn said Wednesday. We're certainly anticipating Mike being back for the game. We'll hold down the practice for him, knowing he'll be online tonight, wanting to go through the red zone and third down and everything else. We expect him to be rocking by game day. Listen, he's not going to miss it. If everything went well, he's home recovering. That's great for McCarthy because, again, I'm not a Dallas fan. Jake knows that more than anybody else. I'm not a Dallas fan, but at the same time, too, we want everyone to be happy and healthy. And hopefully McCarthy will be out there because I'd rather see McCarthy, and again, because I'm not feeling a victorious win on Sunday, but I'd rather see McCarthy out there on the sidelines to make sure that he is coaching his team, hopefully to a loss. No offense to Dallas fans, but, I'd rather see him rather than Quinn, put it that way. So hopefully he's going to recover, and he'll be out there Sunday. He doesn't have to show up to 8:20. So truthfully, he can leave his house at 7:45, get there by, 8:15. He's already going to be in uniform. Just walk out to the sideline. Just tell everybody, all right, I'm here. I'm present. So that's okay. Hopefully we'll get better. Cowboys fans, don't lose hope. Even if he's out. God, I can't believe. This is probably the most I've ever talked about the Cowboys. I can't believe that it is coming down this Sunday. On top of that it's just going to be, this is going to have to be a bounce back game because you hear more and more and more of the Eagles being exposed last week. So Nick Sirianni better have one heck of a plan to get things turned around come Sunday. 8:20 is the time. Sunday night, NBC is the channel. And no, Taylor Swift does not do the Sunday night kickoff. It's the other country chick. What's her name?
Carrie Underwood.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, and I've got a number for a good therapist because it sounds like you've got some little anger issues to work out.
Me? I call 1-800-GAMBLER, and they take care of everything.
And McCarthy will be coaching on Sunday. He'll be on the sideline. Everything will be fine. He'll be there. He's not going to miss this game. It's too big.
It is. And again, listen, everybody knows. I like to give Dallas fans that, I like to give them the business, but at the same time, too, Eagles need to, if they really want to make that Super Bowl push, they need to get a lot better. That's all I'm saying. Nick Sirianni, I'm pretty sure he's going to get the job done, so I'm not worried about it too much. I'm just hoping that, you keep, oh, by the way, David Carr. Come on, dude. Seriously? That Marcus Mariota is better than Jalen Hurts? Come on, man. Stop it. I wish I would have had the audio. I guess I could play it, but then you wouldn't be able to hear it. But, seriously. Oh, he can't read the defense. He can't do this. He can't do that. How did your NFL career work out? You have one of these? Nah, I didn't think so. Were you out much earlier than your brother? I think so. So you want to talk about it? Jalen Hurts? Okay. Maybe you need to go to Philly next season. And even, why don't you just go down to Dallas? And then you can see exactly what goes on there. Because regardless, Marcus Mariota will never be the answer. I rather would have kept our backup that we had before. But again, Nick Foles, if you're around, by all means, please reach out. The Eagles are looking for a good backup quarterback. Because Marcus Mariota, God forbid, Jalen Hurts goes down. That'll be it. That would be a wrap for everyone. But they keep saying that he's playing injured. I don't know. Again, I'm not Jalen Hurts. I'm not the medical staff. And if he is, and he's trying to play through it, God bless him, because it's not the easiest thing in the world. Anyways, Vikings are sticking with quarterback Josh Dobbs, and we'll start with the Raiders, or versus the Raiders, on Sunday. Now, he had a bad week. Everybody knows this. Kevin O'Connell, he announced a decision that he's going to go with the veteran, with the Raiders, instead of turning back to Nick Mullins, who threw the third stringer, Jaron Hall. So, listen, I don't see a big problem with that. Again, everybody's going to have a bad week. I think that's the first one in how many weeks, Brian? I mean, including Arizona, at least 5-6 weeks?
Well, I mean, even in Arizona, he was a little bit turnover prone as well. So that was the red flag for the Vikings. But who are the Vikings going to turn to? They're not going to turn to Nick Mullins. Joshua Dobbs probably gives you the best chance to win right now, and they're still in a playoff hunt. So, they had the bye week, and I believe that the coaching staff probably got a hold of him and said, look, man, All we ask you to do is just take care of the football from here on out. Whatever else happens during the rest of the season, just take care of the football. If it's not there, don't force it. Either eat it, take a sack, get outside the pocket, get rid of the football, or take off and pick up as many yards as you can. But don't try and force it. Don't try and do too much. I know Justin Jefferson is close to coming back. Hope he comes back this week. They need him. Addison has really stepped in there for him. Hawkinson has really stepped in for him. So, again, we talk about it all the time with quarterbacks, Angel, just like with Hurts or Mahomes or Allen or any quarterback. You take care of the football, just don't turn it over. And, a lot of quarterbacks this year have been doing it. It's not just Dobbs. Correct. Allen's been turning it over. Mahomes has been doing some funky stuff. Hurts earlier in the year was doing uncharacteristic stuff, turning the ball over. So, it's not just him. You just don't want to see him make a habit of it. And, I think the reason why they were maybe thinking about going to Mullins was maybe they were starting to see a little bit of a trend that he had in Arizona. But I hope it works out for him. I really do. I hope the Vikings make the playoffs because I'm a Vikings fan. I feel for that fan base. They have not been to a Super Bowl since the 1976-77 season. So,
shocker. You're a Vikings fan. Imagine that one. No, listen, I agree. No, listen, I don't want, again, Kirk Cousins, I know he's been made fun of a lot of, but he's recovering, getting better. If I had my choice, I'd rather take Cousins over Rodgers. But, in a heartbeat, I'd do it. If the Eagles came down and said, listen, he's just not a starting quarterback. He wants to go into a backup QB position. Okay, I have no problem with that. He wants to be a starter. I know he wants to continue being a starter. And if it's not with Minnesota, he's going to land somewhere come next year. We just don't know. But, again, Josh Dobbs, you look at Brock Purdy. Didn't Brock Purdy start off, I want to say, the first maybe 5 weeks before he threw his first interception? So no one, like you said, everyone this year has been squirrely. For whatever reason it's been, everyone's been squirrely in the NFL. Between injuries, between mishaps, handling the ball off, it's been bad. The only thing where I'm not digging as of late, why with the missed tackles? Why is everyone just trying to punch the ball out? No one is tackling like the way it was before. Everyone's going, let me punch the ball out. Let me punch the ball out. Is that all they're showing you in practice? They're not showing you how to tackle anymore? Or do we not do that anymore in the NFL either? Because to me, it doesn't make any sense.
We talk about this all the time. Fundamentals in pro sports.
Right.
It's a lost art. It's just not practiced anymore. Yes, punching the ball out defensively, they teach it in practice, they coach it. But, I was always taught tackling, form tackling. Square up, turn your head to the side, drive through, wrap, take them down. But everybody wants to, the big shoulder hit. Ooh, look at the big shoulder hit. Ooh. Or, it's just, again, fundamentals is a lost art. I wish they would get back to it. But everybody wants to be on SportsCenter. Everybody wants to be on this sports show or that sports show. It gets ridiculous sometimes. And yeah, punching the ball out seems to be, well, put it to you this way. You missed the tackle. What are you going to do? You're going to try and punch the ball out. Just like somebody gets burned for a touchdown, Angel. They get burned. What do? They go down. Oh, my leg. My leg hurts. Oh, my leg. Yeah, you got your ass burnt for a touchdown on the long pass. Oh, I cramped up. Yeah, sure you did. So just fundamentals, man. I would love to see fundamentals, but look, this is just today's NFL.
That's what it is. And I just, again, you guys might think that I like to complain a lot, which I don't. Honestly, I really don't. I take things with a grain of salt. That's just the way I operate. That's the way I work. It's just that some of the stuff is going to be ridiculous with the NFL. Some of these flags, some of the stuff, did it come to reason? Yes. Am I, convinced that obviously there isn't a lot of fixing a lot of stuff? Could be. Depending who you end up speaking to, it could be, it could not be. But either way, as I said, I don't do a whole lot of complaining because why? No one's going to listen anyways. And even though the complaint department's always open, but you're always taking a number. I'm up to, I don't know, complaint number 2, maybe 3 for a year. I don't complain a whole bunch because it's not even worth it. But I just wish the tackling needs to improve. Honestly, it really does. Because the whole going after punching the ball and the helmet is becoming, again, as we come into the latter part of the season, these guys, I understand some of them drop the shoulder, but you're starting to see it where, again, that helmet to helmet, maybe some of these guys want to be a vegetable when they get, later on in life. I don't understand it. But eventually they'll come around to it. Anyways, make sure I give the proper credit to Miss Walker, the staff writer on Yahoo, because she says, as reported, the Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers comes to Zach Wilson's defense after report calls leaks from teams chicken shit. And they have the asterisk. We can say it here because she can't write it. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers is having none of it when it comes to the negative reports about Zach Wilson. A report from The Athletic said Wilson is reluctant to start again for the New York Jets. Rodgers, who is still recovering from a torn Achilles tendon, doesn't believe it. Winning organizations do that to one of their own, and Rodgers had pointed words Tuesday for whoever leaked that information. Quote, "That's a problem with the organization," Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee show. Shocker. "We need to get to the bottom of whatever this is coming from and put a stop to it privately, because there's no place in a winning culture where, and this isn't the only time, there's been a bunch of other leaks. I think it's chicken shit at its core, and I think it has no place on a winning organization." Now, this is from the same guy who said he didn't want the spotlight, but he was out on the sideline throwing, talking about there was, a 21-day window where he wanted to come back. Again, you have not shown Zach Wilson anything, but you want to come to his defense. So which one is it, Aaron? Because supposedly you weren't saying too nice things either about the Jets not too long ago. So are you for the organization? Are you not for the organization? Are you for the Pat McAfee organization? Which one is it? Because I think if it's up to you, you would take the money, whatever Jets promise you, and you would just be on Pat McAfee's couch from the time that Pat goes to sleep to the time that Pat wakes up, because you love being on the show. And great for you that you're on the show. My thing is that you said to everyone, the next team you're going to go to, that you are going to, help coach whatever the backup quarterback is. You have done absolutely nothing for Zach Wilson. So to come out there and make the comments that you make, how many people actually took it literally? I don't think that many, because to me, it doesn't matter. Because anything that Aaron says, again, he went, to Venus or Uranus or one of those freaking planets so he can find, self something and self another and self this and self that. You had to go somewhere for complete total darkness. Come on, bro. Seriously, you're an NFL quarterback. You're 40 years old. You're lucky if this injury doesn't rear its ugly head again, but you, for some reason, think you're going to bring the Jets back from the dead and march them into the playoffs. Get healed, come back, and then see what the Jets are going to do with you. Because the more you keep running your mouth, the worse it could possibly be for you and the organization. Again, I don't know how the Jets fans feel and felt about. I know a lot of them cheered for him being there, but you're 40 years old. Don't tell me you didn't also do it for the money either, because are you going to be this? Listen, Tom Brady is far. Vinny Testaverde was even far in between. Those guys were in their 40s, and they were able to do so. Aaron, bro, calm it down a bit.
He's not a team player. I don't care what anybody says. He's all about Aaron. And as far as I'm concerned, look, I feel for the guy. He got hurt his Achilles. I get it. But if you really wanted to be any sort of leader and a teammate, you had your surgery, you heal up for a couple weeks, your ass should be with the team week in and week out on the sidelines, mentoring Zach Wilson. Look, what did you see here? Look, try to tune out the noise. This is the way you should handle it. This is the way you should handle the media, the fans. He should have been there for this kid, and he hasn't been. But you can go on the Pat McAfee show and spew your shit and spew your rhetoric and wax poetic about X, Y, and Z. And now you're saying stuff about the organization. Why the hell would the organization want him to come back now? Why would Aaron Rodgers want to come back? That offensive line sucks. It led to him getting hurt anyway. Now, it could have happened on any play. I get it. But still, all in all, why would you want this guy in your locker room quarterbacking your team? It was the same way in Green Bay. He was pissed off they drafted Jordan Love, Did he maybe mentor Jordan Love a little bit? Probably. But when Aaron withdraws into himself, which he does all the time, he's just all about Aaron. He's, okay, I got hurt. I got to go do my own thing now. I've got to rehab my way. I'll show up whenever I want to, or I'll show up when I see fit. This shit don't float, man. It just doesn't float. You're not a team player. If you'd been any kind of leader, you'd have been in there week out. Home and away. Taylor Swift has showed up to more Kansas City Chiefs games than Aaron Rodgers has showed up to New York Jet games.
Exactly. And it's not like he can't have access to the private jet, because obviously the Jets have one. Just about, I believe, every NFL organization has one. So you mean to tell me they couldn't fuel up the jet for you? Or you couldn't, now that you're able to walk around, that you couldn't hobble over to the aircraft, the chartered aircraft, to go with your team? I've not been a fan of Aaron Rodgers, especially what he did to Jordan Love after he swore up and down that he would not do it the way that the former Brett Favre actually did it to him. So, listen.
Maybe he's off smoking peyote somewhere in his. I don't know. He's smoking shrooms in the dark. Maybe that's what he does before he goes on the Pat McAfee show. I don't know. And if Aaron Rodgers was supposed to come on this show, I'll debate him back and forth. I'll ask him tough questions and see what kind of answers he gives. There's an open invitation to you at number 12. Come on this show, and let's really get down to the nitty-gritty.
No, that's if he would end up taking it. But no one asks tough questions anymore. Nobody. Everybody says that they do. No one ever asks anymore. And I don't know why, because, again, it's not like it's well, I do, and I'm not going to get into it. But, just ask questions, folks. That's what we do. Everyone, you're entitled to ask a question. And whether it drives the athlete nuts or not, ask the question. Because if they have a good debate, they're going to debate with you back and forth. And that's what we all want. We want just a nice, healthy debate. We ask the questions, you give us the answers. You want to plead the fifth? We're going to ask the same question over and over again until eventually you'll say something. But everything that Aaron Rodgers says, truthfully, I take it like a grain of salt because it doesn't make any sense to me. So, anyways, that is that. That is the Aaron Rodgers. That is your New York Jets. Hopefully next year they'll do a lot better. Hopefully they've learned their lesson where you don't put your eggs in one basket for the future. So, Jets fans, hang in there. Next year is right around the corner. And again, just because I'm an Eagles fan does not guarantee that we're doing anything. You still got to clinch a playoff spot, and then when you get to the playoffs, you got to win. So I'm not on some super high horse. So don't think like, oh my God, look, he's talking because his team is where they are. No, I'm not worried about it because again, 1 injury, 2 injuries, 3 injuries, goodbye, season done. You never know what's going to happen. But after the break, we will get into the trade rumors with MLB. 2, actually, 1 trade rumor, and then obviously the biggest losers when it came to the MLB draft. Now, once again, Ryan will not be able to listen to what I'm about to play, which is nothing bad, but maybe it's time for just a little celebration with some Cool in the Gang, just to uplift your spirits. Because after a dog dedication, I'm not going to even go into Casey Kasem because people are like, oh my God. Though I did play that. I might play it back for you guys at one point. That is absolutely phenomenal. Who knew that Casey Kasem had it in there? But anyways, after the break, we'll get into some more. Again, Martinez Company here live Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Don't forget, you guys can call in or text into the show at 844-644-8669. Once again, 844-644-8669. Don't forget to download the apps so you do not miss an entirety of every show. So we will talk to you guys. It's going to be a quick break. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio. He perfected it. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been waiting, and now it's here. TBSN, the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Make some noise!
Tune in at 7 a.m. and hear Pete Shepard till 10. And then Defo and Luby from 10 a.m. till noon. And then the man himself, Tony Bruno, and the Tony Bruno Show starts at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Martinez Company from 6 p.m. to 8. And we've got more to come. The Tony Bruno Sports Network. Download the app. Tell your friends the game is on. TBSN.
Jay Warner, Tom Boxer, Morena, let's go. You will make me fall deep in love, far away. You will make me fall deep in love, far away. Hey, there's nothing in this world that can take me from my girl. I got a heart screaming. I could be falling for lust, but that ain't good enough. Baby, I'm falling for love. I'm falling in love. Let's go. Morena, talk to me. I'm from Venus, you're from Mars. When we're together, we create stars. Falling down from Earth, falling down from Earth. I'm from Venus, you're from Mars. When we're together, we create stars. Falling down from Earth, falling down from Earth. Let's go. You will make me fall in love, deep in love, far away. You will make me fall in love, deep in love, far away.
And that's the only thing that we hope for. Did you end up falling in love here with Martinez and Company, Angel Martinez, Ryan Neff, Martinez Company on a Wednesday evening into the third quarter, 7:02 here locally in Tampa. Over on the left coast, it is about 4:02 in the afternoon. So if you're listening to us from the left coast, we appreciate those in Washington, California, Arizona. And if you're on the far left coast, over in Russia, das vidanya, we appreciate you guys also tuning in. As if you guys didn't hear the earlier breaking news on the Tony Bruno Sports Network, in Kuwait, the Tony Bruno Sports Network is the number 5 most downloaded app listened to digital air radio show in Kuwait. So we thank those who listen in from all over the world. We really do appreciate it. So it's great to hear that people are downloading the apps and are tuning in from all over the world. Thank you also for listening in here on the app as well. Don't forget you can download it on the Apple and or Google Play Store. And you guys can watch the show live as well on the social medias. Just take a look at the Tony Bruno Sports Network Facebook page, over on Twitter, so you guys can enjoy the show as much as we do. And coming up Friday, our guest will be Mr. Neff.
Paul Birdie.
From?
I got to pull it up again. It's been a long day. I just have to double check. There's so many guests that we have lined up.
You know, I should have had the Jeopardy music loaded up here on the soundboard so I can end up playing it. But don't worry, folks. We're getting it.
Covers the Green Bay Packers.
There you go. See,
That's
I knew
right.
it. I just wanted to see exactly what you were going to end up saying, but that's okay because there's a reason why we talked about a little bit of Green Bay earlier, but nonetheless. So Friday, it'll be a good one also on, I thought, no, I could be wrong. Next Wednesday, there's another guest, but that's over on the basketball side of the house. So anyways, and then who knows, maybe, Friday, yes, I am correct. Delco Dave will be back with us on Friday, and pardon me, so will Rich. It's going to be just pretty much the same Friday fun that we had last week. We're going to try and duplicate it all over again this Friday, except just a little more funnier. So Rich was on with us last night. He'll be back with us on Friday, along with Delco Dave. And Delco Dave, if you guys live out there in Nebraska, opened up his own restaurant selling Philly cheesesteaks with authentic Amoroso bread. So if you guys want a fine steak, reach out to Delco Dave, the real Delco Dave, not the phony one. The real Delco Dave on Twitter. You can also find it on Facebook. And put in Delco Dave, and it'll actually give you the restaurant location so you guys can go out in Nebraska, out in the Midwest. While you're out there just chilling, literally because of the cold weather, you can get yourself a fine Delco Dave Philly cheesesteak and go home fat, happy, and healthy. And no, it's not to insult people because everything you do in this world, you got to explain it. It's a saying, folks. We're not calling anybody fat by any means whatsoever. Anyways.
Should have a guest tomorrow, too, by the way.
Oh, yeah? And who would that be?
That'd be Tony Gerdeman. He covers the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Ozone alum. He's the lead beat writer for Buckeye Huddle. So I'm still trying to get confirmation. He said he wants to come on tomorrow. Just have to get a definitive time. A lot to talk about with him on Ohio State after the Michigan game, and then also how many players may or may not skip the bowl since they're not playing for the college football national title. So just still trying to get confirmation.
So you're announcing a guest before we get the confirmation.
Well, he said that he got a little crazy. He's sorry he didn't get back to me sooner. He said he is free tomorrow between 6 and 8. So he will be on tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Okay. As long as you know that he's out there, that is fine. By the way, in the Hot Stove Tracker, apparently the Yankees are in super pursuit of Juan Soto. You guys remember that Rich Tech talked about it last night. I guess they're intensifying their efforts to trade for the Padres right fielder. Everybody knows Yankees have like the endless checkbook, so it's not a surprise. Will it make the Yankees any better? Maybe. I mean, I don't know, but you're also going to have now another superstar on that team with the ones you already have. So I hopefully it'll make the Yankees better. I'm not too sure. Also, Craig Kimbrell from the former Philadelphia Phillies. Now the Orioles needed a new closer with flamethrower Felix Bautista out for the 24-24 season, and they found it, reportedly signing Craig Kimbrell to a 1-year, $13 million contract. How did he perform in the postseason? You're welcome, Orioles. You're welcome. You guys can have him. Because, again, it may sound freaking selfish or whatever. 23 saves, 3.26 ERA with the Phillies in 2023. He was also the team's alone all-star representative, and that's great. But postseason, not so much. So, anyways, I'm glad you guys spent $13 million on him. Ohtani suitors have reportedly dwindled, as we talked about it before. Apparently, the Mets, Rangers, and the Red Sox has moved on. Meanwhile, still, the only ones that picked up maybe, just maybe a little bit, are the Blue Jays, Cubs, and Angels. Blue Jays, he would do well. That's a young team.
I still think he's going to wind up with the Dodgers.
Of course. Because they're going to spend the most money.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this. So, I mean, with the Blue Jays, though, honestly, with the Blue Jays, he wouldn't be bad. The Cubs are in rebuild mode. Anaheim, Angels, I don't know. What are they now? The Los Angeles Angels? They switch their name like every 2 years.
I know them as the California Angels from way back when. I still call them the California Angels. I don't call them.
Stay that way.
Yeah. The only dark horse I could see at this point is maybe Seattle. And like Rich Q said yesterday, I was thinking the same thing earlier in the summer was, the Ichiro factor. He had great success in Seattle. Why not? Why not Seattle? So I don't know what kind of checkbook Seattle has. They probably have to sell the farm for him. But I think it's going to – I really think it's either going to be L.A. or Seattle, comes swooping in. But I think it's the Dodgers.
Yep. And then you have the trade rumors. Apparently the Cubs are trying to get connected with Taylor Glasnow. Now, again, Tyler Glasnow, not bad at all as far as a pitcher. I don't know why the Rays truthfully want to move on from him. He did well this season. So I don't know, unless maybe it's just Tyler himself. Maybe he wants a change of scenery. And it could end up helping him, but I felt like he did an outstanding job for the Rays this season, being here locally is I follow obviously both of my teams here, Phillies being number one, and then Rays because I live here now locally. But I thought Tyler Glasnow, to me personally, I believe he did well. And the Rays, for some reason, want to move on from him. I'm kind of baffled because the Rays are looking to shop some of their guys. And it's not nothing new because we've seen this with the Tampa Bay team. And might be one of the reasons why they still stay with a cheaper budget than the Oakland A's. But I don't know why in the world they want to shop him around. I think they should keep him here in Tampa. Of course, they play in St. Pete, which someone had said the story not too long ago, which I thought was kind of interesting. So when the Lightning were, because they're then an expansion team, they started their when they were going to go looking for a home. The one thing was they started in Tampa up in the craps. I'm drawing a big old fart now. Dear Lord, please help me remember exactly where it was. Anyways, I know it'll come to me. But they have the RV shows, all kinds of good, fun stuff out there. And that's where, and believe it or not, if you ever get the opportunity of going out there, I know it'll come to me. If not my producers, you'll come in here and let me know. But where they first started, Ryan, no kidding, like their arena itself, and you got to remember, it's hot here in Florida. I don't know how in the world they got through an entire season without the entire ice melting. They had that original problem at Tropicana Field when they first went out there. But this place, you can park, put it this way, you can park 2 full-size RVs. That was like the size of the rink there. And it seems kind of ridiculous. It wasn't that big, and you actually go upstairs to look down on the rink. And apparently there was like folding chairs that are around. It's a part of history. I don't know if they're ever going to get rid of the building. I hope not because of Tampa's history. But I did not know, it's a fun fact, that before the Lightning were going to be accepted in Tampa, because the only place they had a home for them originally before they came back to Tampa was over at the Trop. And so apparently the mayor at the time said, the only way I will accept the Lightning is if we call them the Tampa Bay Lightning, not the Tampa Lightning. And that's how they end up getting their name. That's how they end up in St. Pete. Before going over to now the wonderful Amalie Arena. That place, I tell you what, Jeff Finnick has done an outstanding job in a place where it's not even his. He's leasing it. But for all the money he's poured into that place, and by the way, if you ever come to whether you're a Blackhawks fan, Columbus Blue Jackets, Coyotes, the Kings, if you ever come to Tampa and you go to Amalie Arena, even if it's 95 degrees with 10,000% humidity outside, you have nothing to worry about because that arena will cool you down in less than 5 seconds. It is absolutely stunning how it is. Now, when it's like days like this and it's cold outside, take a jacket. You might use some galoshes, a couple of scarves, because it remains cold in that building. But it's a great place. Sound system is great. Greg Wolf, the announcer, does an outstanding job. So does Miss Sonia singing the national anthem. So, anyways, little history there by the Tampa Bay Lightning because we were talking about the Tampa Bay Rays. So, I just think, again, the Rays should stay right where they are, but they don't. They want to shop around. They want to take a look and see, what it is. I'm not too sure.
The Lightning played their first regular season game in a place called Expo Hall.
There you go. That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Florida State Fairgrounds. Yep.
We went, so Tony, Miss Robin, and I went there. Has it been 3 years already? I think so. I think when we just came down to shop around for a house. I think it has been 3 years already. At least 2, if anything. But we went to this RV show, and they were recording it. And we had a fun time. That was a great time. We had so much fun. They stayed here at the house. It was absolutely fantastic. And we were in this RV, and a salesman comes up, and I guess he must have thought I was the bodyguard for some reason. But mind you, I had one of the extra cameras in my hand because I was waiting for him to exit out the RV so I can record them coming out of it. So they're in there. The guy walks up. He goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Tony Bruno's in there." He goes, "Who's that?" I'm like, "Who's that?" You might want to find out through the credentials that he has a credential, all of us do, to be in here. And he's right now just, he's recording some footage because he's trying to help you guys out selling an RV. And while I have customers, mind you, there was nobody behind them. I have customers. Okay, well then when your customers come up, I'll make sure I'll tell them to stop and they'll stop filming. He goes, "Oh, this is an outrage." And he walks away. So then he goes to get security. They come up. They walk to me. In the meantime, Miss Robin, Tony, and I wish I can remember the other gentleman's name that was there that day. They're inside while I'm outside dealing with this. And the guy was like, he says that Tony Bruno's in there. The guy goes through his list. He goes, okay. Nope, yeah, he's in there. He's good. And the guy goes, what do you mean he's good? He goes, no, he's good. He goes, how long, sir, is he going to be in there for us? I don't know, maybe another 5-10 minutes. The salesman goes storming off, right? Said a couple of words, he stormed off. I got a little upset because of what he had said. Did I say something unprofessionally? No, because the guy from head of security was there talking to me. Cool, no problem. Miss Robin and Tony come out, and they finished everything up with their segment. And they said, was everything all right? I said, yeah, some salesman come over here acting like a jerk. He wanted to get in there. I told him you guys were taping, and he threw a fit. And we just went on about our business. Had a great day. The rest of the day, that was it. But I was like, dude, it wasn't that freaking deep. It was a beautiful RV. But if you would have had your clients with you, I would have had no problem sticking my head in there saying, hey, Tony, can you give us a second here? And I'm pretty sure Tony and Miss Robin, being the friendly people that they are, would have stepped out, let them go on in, make the sale. They would have stepped out, and then we'd gone in there. The other thing, too, which we thought was quite interesting, so on the other side of that same site, there was a gentleman there with I want to say a T-shirt, maybe a hoodie or something. But anyways, didn't look like, and this is why you don't judge a book by its cover, but he didn't look like he could purchase an RV at the time. And so he was sitting there, asked a couple questions, and the sales guy that was there wasn't really helpful. And then myself, Tony, I think Miss Robin may have gone to the other RV. But the guy, didn't pay too much time, any time to him, any mention or anything else. Guy walks out. We go into the next RV. The guy walks into the other RV. Only come to find out he had a briefcase. It might have been maybe $1 million or $2 million in there. So, again, the other sales guy wasn't pushing or anything else. Ask him if he had any questions. The guy goes, just, maybe 1 or 2 questions if you have time. No, yeah, sure, don't worry about it. These folks are just looking around and stuff, no big deal. Guy sold him the RV. The other guy comes over to the other RV. He goes, hey, I had this guy with this T-shirt, not knowing that the guy is right behind us. He goes, they even look like he can afford a car. And the guy just kind of ducks his head over like, me? So, yeah, don't judge a book by its cover because you never know. I was happy for the guy. I was like, you get it, buddy. I wish I had that briefcase. Me, if I open up a briefcase, it's like Dumb and Dumber. Here, I owe you this, that, and the other because $1 million is not coming my way. That's for daggone sure. Anyways, the biggest losers that they thought of the MLB draft were the A's and the Nationals. Why? I'm still trying to think of reasons why they thought they were the worst ones. I didn't see it. Obviously, if you look at every MLB team, could every MLB team be the biggest losers? I guess, if you look at it. But the A's, yeah, they everybody knows they weren't trying to do too much because they knew at that point they were going to go out to Vegas. So I didn't see the big deal about it, but they reported it. But there was also nothing to kind of report along with it. It was just one of those things where they just said, well, they were the biggest losers. Okay, fine. And even now, as I'm trying to see even what remotely would make them, excuse me if I can talk, would make them even say why they were the biggest losers is beyond me. And I'm searching here through the MLB to find any.
I would probably think it's probably because the A's and the Nationals probably had the highest percentage to grab the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they fell to whatever they fell to. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I think I saw something in the A's case. They had a 18.3 chance to win the top pick. And then the Nationals, I can't remember what percentage it was. So, the A's are going to lose anyway. The A's just, they stink.
Correct.
So, even moving to Vegas, they're going to suck for a while. So, depending on what the organization does in the next couple of years with drafts and trying to wheel and deal or whatnot, it remains to be seen. But, just because, look, man, Vegas, the Raiders moved to Vegas and they stink. You know what I mean? And they're going to continue to stink because Mark Davis doesn't have a clue on what he's doing. So, the Aces, yeah. The Aces, The Vegas Golden Knights, absolutely. But, they want to bring a basketball team to Vegas. Okay. Vegas, let's just move everything to Vegas. move everything to Vegas. So
they moved after one, and that worked out great for them, thankfully, because from all the work they had to get done just to make that thing happen. I mean, took down statues, closed down the fountain to make sure you had to buy tickets. They closed the bridges down. I mean, but hey, listen, Vegas right now is a hot spot, and everybody knew eventually it was going to happen. They were going to get an MLB team. They were going to get an NBA team. Again, the WNBA right now winning back-to-back championships. You can start putting them soon, depending on how well they do come next summer. But you could probably put them into dynasty mode the way they're playing right now, and they're fully loaded. So it would be interesting to see how they end up playing out come next year. But kind of, getting back here as far as the baseball, Yadier Molina apparently got a front office job with the St. Louis Cardinals. So he will remain with St. Louis as a special assistant to John Mozeliak, their president of baseball operations, after longtime catcher wrapped up his 19-year big league career in 2022. So listen, that's not bad. Yeah, going back to going to the front office, I mean, it's good and some people talked about maybe go to the broadcast booth, but apparently he loves a team. I mean, 19 years, one team. You don't get too many players at that caliber. I mean, Cal Ripken was the longest tenured with the Orioles. So I would think that Yadier Molina is the second longest tenured.
I'd have to look it up, my friend.
Well, he is going to be with the front office. We're excited to welcome Yadi back to St. Louis. Mazzelli said in a statement he will provide invaluable help at the major league level, as well all as spend time with our minor league teams in his new role with the team. Molina trails only Stan Musial, who played 22 seasons for St. Louis, for the most with the club. Along the way, he helped the Cardinals reach 4 World Series win championships in 2006 and 2011. His longevity, coupled with the success of those Cardinals teams, is a big reason why he retired as their career postseason leader in hits, 102 in games in 104. So, hey, that's great. Because, everybody knows he was well-loved, well-received in St. Louis. So it's good. He stayed home. I mean, that's the way you look at it. He could have retired. But a lot of these guys, they can retire. They can go off into the sunset. They have nothing to worry about. They got their millions. If they invested wisely, they have their millions. So this way, the way you look at it is that, you get him having a great time, a great life, and see what happens from there. But it's good to see he's going to be in the front office.
Yeah, I was looking up. So Carl Yastrzemski and Brooks Robinson, the longest tenured players with one single team ever. 23 seasons apiece. 23 seasons for Brooks Robinson with the Orioles. 23 seasons with Yastrzemski for the Red Sox. Yeah, you talk about players going to front office positions. You're seeing it more and more now. Players just know the culture. You talk about your Flyers, Angel, with Jonesy and the other guy. What's the other guy? He's escaping my name. Briere. Yeah. So, again, players know the culture. They know the ins and outs. They know what teams need. So, yeah, I think you're going to see more and more of that. I don't think organizations are so inclined to jump on like a coach with big time experience anymore.
Right.
Just because some of those guys are becoming outdated. They can't relate to players. You're seeing more like NFL teams and NBA teams. They're hiring coaches that can relate to today's player. It's one of the things that didn't work out with Doc Rivers in Philadelphia. I don't think Doc really related to today's player and what they go through and the whole 9 yards. So, and now Doc's in the broadcast booth. So you'll see more and more of it.
Yeah, you definitely will. And again, everybody's going to make their what's the word I'm looking for here? Pick and choose their battles. Figure out what's going to go wrong with their team, what's going to go right with the team. Yeah, and again, Phillies end up. They picked up 5 players there throughout the draft today, so end up doing well. White Sox picked up a Red Sox pitcher. So these teams know where they need to be. My only thing, as I've talked about before, is that when it comes down to it, you have to make sure that the the people you're going to go with as far as your managers, pick the right guys. Safe hires do not win games. Safe hires do not get you into the playoffs. Safe hires do not get you to a World Series. The only difference in that would be Rob Thompson with the Phillies, because no one, including yours truly, when Girardi was fired, I thought, all right, what's this guy going to do? Shockingly, he took him to the World Series, ended up losing, and then this year we came up short. But again, never know. And you got an extension too for next year, so that's a great thing. So we are at the end of quarter number 3 as the night quickly is flying by. When we come back, a little soccer action with, some people say Lionel. Messi is the correct name for the last name. So we'll talk, I guess, about Mr. Messi, as he is named the 2023 Athlete of the Year. And again, for those who like the Inter Miami team, get ready to spend a lot more money next year, because that man is going to be here for a couple years. He absolutely loves the Miami area, because he said him and his wife can walk into a Publix and no one knows who in the world he is. And that's great. You know why? Because everywhere he was overseas, no matter where he went, he was being bombarded by everybody. So until everybody kind of gets acclimated and see exactly who he is, then it'll be a whole different story. But he says he loves the area, and that's great, because obviously he's from South America. So it's cool that he's here in the area, and that's great. I mean, obviously Miami did wonders, and it makes you think, are there going to be more guys that come from European football here in America, because they're loving it here? According to, Messi's talked to his friends, that he played with, and told him, hey, you know what? That ain't bad over here. So obviously he got paid handsomely by Miami, and I mean handsomely. So after the break, we'll get into it so you guys can know exactly what in the world we're talking about. But in the meantime, you guys can talk, text, watch on social medias. But if you'd like to call in or text into the show, you can do so at 844-644-8669. Once again, 844-644-8669. Don't forget, after us, starting next week, December 11th, it'll be A.J. Johnson with the Bleacher Brothers from 8 to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Then the best of runs all the way through the overnight, where Pete Shepard picks up bright and early on Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 a.m. It is a Pete Shepard show on from 7 to 10. And then Defo and Luby from 10 to 12. The best of between 12 and 3. And then Tony Bruno with Miss Robin and the Tony Bruno Show from 3 to 6 p.m. And then we're back at us all over again. So after the break, we'll get into some soccer talk, because there's not too much that goes on with it at this time of the year unless you're playing overseas. So we will talk to you all after the break. Stay tuned.
Listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio, he perfected it.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
AutoZone is more than a parts store. It's where we help you solve problems like, sorry I'm late, my battery died, and
I need a jump again.
At America's #1 battery destination, you can find the right battery at the right price with options starting at only $89.99. And we offer free battery testing and charging whenever you need it. Get the parts and help you need to get the job done right at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do you know what brand sells the most work shoes in America? Skechers. Why? Skechers has the best looking safety toe and slip resistant shoes around. They've got superior quality and simply incredible prices, but many people get them just for the style. So you can enjoy tough, steel-toed protection and slip resistant soles anywhere, even if you don't need them for work. And since they're Skechers, you know they're going to be comfortable with Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam. Find your new pair of Skechers safety toe and slip resistant work shoes at a Skechers store, at Skechers.com, or wherever work shoes are sold.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Now back to the biggest sports network on the planet, the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
I'm blue.
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best fucking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best fucking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. You know I'm down for whatever tonight. I don't need the final things in life. No matter where I go, it's a good time. Yeah. And I don't need to say.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter here on Martinez Company. I am Angel Martinez. He is Ryan F. Martinez Company live Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. here on the Tony Bruno Sports Network, the best sports network on the planet. And you guys, if you download the app, just like everywhere else, you can listen to us over the digital radio airwaves. Go down and go across, or go which way over to the Google and Android store. Download the apps. As soon as you start searching for Tony Bruno, you'll find it, download it. So when you're in your car, and or if you're in Kuwait, guess what? You can join us in the top 5 in Kuwait, the most downloaded app, and listen to Digital Air Show in America and over in Kuwait. That's great news, because that's absolutely phenomenal. And thanks, by the way, to all the Kuwait folks for listening in. We do appreciate it. That's great. Which I think it's what? I guess it would be the middle of the afternoon now over there.
No, it would probably be sometime middle of the morning.
Is it?
I would say it's probably like 3:30, 4:30 in the morning. I will check.
Okay, you do that. Bring us Father Time and let us know exactly what's going on. Hey, by the way, if you guys that have not heard, there was unfortunately, it was a shooting at the UNLV campus today in Vegas. This came out apparently around 7:11 this evening, an update. What we know so far, 3 people were killed and 1 person is in critical condition after a shooting on the UNLV campus. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police said Wednesday the suspect was also killed, police said. Police earlier said they were responding to reports of a shooting near Beam Hall, home of the university's Lee Business School. UNLV is located a few miles from the site of the 2017 mass shooting at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival, which left at least 58 people dead and hundreds more wounded. Authorities in Las Vegas are still evacuating buildings on the University of Las Vegas campus. following a shooting there on Wednesday, University Police said on X. Authorities asked anyone on campus to continue sheltering in place until the area is cleared. Described the incident as an active investigation. So, again, this is just, man, I just hope this world gets better. Honest to God, I hope it gets better because could it get worse? It definitely could get worse. We hope not, because there's already a lot of things that we deal with on an everyday stressor. That's why we like to take the time here on the Tony Bruno Sports Network to kind of at least alleviate whatever you guys got going on. And by the way, if you guys are going through anything, you guys can send us a text. We don't have to share it with everyone, but send us a text, 844-644-8669, because if you're going through something, hey, we would be more than happy to try at least see what we can do to help you out, because you don't want to go through something by yourself. But so what is the current time in Kuwait?
It is 3:35 a.m.
All right. So it's good to know. It's about, now it's not even 12 hours in front of us. 9?
8.
Okay. So they're in the future.
So if you're listening in Kuwait at 3:35 in the a.m. to Martinez and Company on the Tony Bruno Sports Network, thank you for tuning in, my friends.
Indeed. So turn up your camels. I don't know, whatever you guys do. And pump up the music. Bring out my humps. And we'll be good.
My humps. My lovely lady lumps.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so Messi named 2023 Time Athlete of the Year following the impact on Inter Miami MLS, which is Major League Soccer. Time magazine named Lionel Messi its Athlete of the Year for 2023 following his blockbuster move to play for Major League Soccer's Inter Miami in the United States. The 36-year-old's decision to sign with the club was lauded for its potential to raise the profile of the league, an idea that was quickly brought to fruition. Messi is the first men's soccer player to receive Time's annual award for athletes since it was unveiled in 2019. It debuted by honoring U.S. women's national team as a whole in honor of their 4th World Cup title, rightfully so. The impact of the victory, led by Megan Rapinoe and Alex Morgan, was boosted by their collective success in addressing the pay gap with their male counterparts via a discrimination lawsuit. Since then, gymnastics legend Simone Biles, baseball star Aaron Judge, and NBA all-time points leader LeBron James has also won the award. For Messi, the honor comes days shy of a year since his victory with Argentina at the 2022 FIFA Men's World Cup in Qatar. In July, he left Liga 1 leader Paris Saint-Germain Inter for Miami and quickly made his mark. I mean, listen, he came here. It was, number one, how quickly he scored. Let's get that one first and foremost. And then the popularity that obviously came along with it. And why not? I mean, the guy was a superstar overseas. But again, I mean, God, everything. You figure what? I think Inter gave up their first child, their first future child, the first future to the future child, future grandparents, future uncles, future aunts, bank, escrows, Rolls Royce, Lambos. I mean, you name it. It was, everything was thrown at him. And wow, how about a finish for Inter Miami as they wrapped up what? The MLS Cup. So anything shy of that, I think, would have been a bust. But again, who knew? Because you come from the eastern side of the world, come here to the western side of the world, and there was nothing that was going to say he was going to be successful. But he got the job done.
I mean, it brings a tremendous international flavor, obviously, from where he's been, what he's accomplished. And, you know, I mean, let's be honest, Angel, soccer is really not, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but soccer in this country, what we know as soccer, the rest of the world, it's football. It's not really all that popular in the United States, other than your diehard fans that follow it. So to have him come to Miami, bring that recognition, decorated as he is, it just brings a whole new audience to America. From Argentina, he's won a World Cup. He's won everything you can possibly think of. So for him to like end his career there, most likely at 36 years. I mean, 36, soccer-wise, you're old. But he still has all the skill set. So I hope it brings more recognition, more fan base. You know, I follow the English Premier League. It's the top league in the world. I thought that maybe at some point he may try out the English Premier League. but he never did. So, yeah, man, I think it's good for the sport, especially in this country.
It is. And again, I mean, good for Miami, but like I said, those prices are going to go up. Folks, get ready because you're going to have to really deep dive in your pocket for that loose change on a couch and everywhere else, because with having Messi there in Miami, again, a big boost to the local economy. Not like Miami's not hurting, because obviously as destination Miami, everybody's down there. Me personally, I will say Miami is as filled as New York is at this point. And when spring break comes around, no way, Jose, are you going to find me anywhere near Miami. Fort Lauderdale would be a better spot, but Miami gets so loaded with folks. And this year, they got into a slew of problems to the point where the mayor had to be like, listen, 8 o'clock, everything shuts down. Sorry, you guys did it. And it really had no other choice, because in Miami, it got really crazy during the spring. And I guess people thought wherever you live across the country, it doesn't work down here in Florida. You do something wrong here, you're getting locked up. It's that simple. And people just thought, well, where I live, they don't do that stuff. Well, wherever you live, sorry, it doesn't work that way. You're spending time in a clink. I mean, you do stuff that's wrong. Sorry, it's going to happen. You know, I don't know what to say. So, unfortunately, hey, you know, people find out. You came down here for the spring break, and then who knows where you ended up after spring break. But anyways, the NBA in-season tournament quarterfinals takeaways from LeBron James baffling timeout and Damian Lillard settling in. Let's be honest here. The NBA was going to be happy with whatever outcome Tuesday night. Either it was the market of New York City of the superstar duo, Giannis, I always screw up it, the Greek freak.
Antetokounmpo.
Okay. And Damian Lillard. Either it was going to be LeBron James and the Lakers' Mystique, or Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Everything doesn't have to be Steph Curry or the Joker, but that's the beauty of the in-season tournament. With 4 teams headed to Las Vegas, you don't need every star, just a few stars and some household names. Let me think about that. Steph Curry, Joker, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, LeBron James. Nah, yeah, you're right. Just a couple household names. Sure. Here are some observations as the Final Four is set. Number 1 seed will be the Bucks versus number 2, the Pacers. That will be at 5 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow on ESPN. And then the number 1 Lakers versus the number 3 Pelicans at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. You can watch that one on TNT. Now, just going to throw this out there. How many people really... Let's think about this matchup again. Where was it? I just passed. Bucks versus Pacers. That's at 5 o'clock. Okay, I can understand the Bucks. Maybe a lot of fans want to see it. You know, Indiana was once great. They're trying to get back to their greatness the way it was before. Do I see this being an all-time highest-rated basketball game for ESPN? No. They'll probably say it was. I mean, I'm sorry. It's nothing super. And then after that, you have the Lakers and the Pelicans. Gee, I wonder who's going to win that one. If I was a betting man on the sports app of any choice, I could probably say the Lakers are going to end up winning that one. Oh, and who's going to be in the Final Four? Or excuse me, in the finals? I would probably put my money on the Bucks, because I'm pretty sure just for ratings, they want to see the Lakers and the Bucks. Oh, and again, if I was a betting man, boy, oh boy, man, the Lakers. Could it be that the Lakers, I don't know, the Lakers? Maybe the Lakers. I think the Lakers are going to win the entire in-season tournament. Come on, man, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm not a fan, as I said in the beginning of the show, of this entire in-season tournament garbage nonsense that the NBA and the commish have put together. Sorry, I'm not. As a matter of fact, I'd rather watch the basketball league and the basketball super league that's going to start in about 22 days before I would watch the in-season tournament. Come on, man, knock it off. You guys, listen, just write it in. When we're going to walk in the door tomorrow, ESPN, yep, Lakers, no, I'm sorry, Bucks and Pacers. Bucks, just go to that left door. Pacers, just go back home. But we're going to edit it anyways. We already got it all edited out. Oh, Lakers, you guys are here? Oh, and the Pelicans, you guys are cute. Okay, all right, Pelicans, you go to the right door, Lakers to the left. Stop it. Stop it. The fix is in. Say whatever you want to, unless otherwise, because truthfully, who the hell's going to watch the Pelicans and the Pacers? Come on. Jesus.
You're really upset about this, aren't you?
Because it's stupid, dude. It really is stupid.
That's why I'm not worried about it. I don't even pay it any attention, Angel, because it is. It's asinine. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, imagine the NFL having an in-season tournament, or Major League Baseball having an in-season tournament, or the NHL having an in-season. It's stupid. That's why I don't even pay it any attention. I don't even care. The teams you just mentioned that are the Final Four, I don't even care. I do not start watching the NBA until the NFL starts dwindling down. Now, it doesn't mean I don't tune into a game or two just because I'm interested, like maybe the Celtics Sixers, or the Clippers and the Lakers, or the Knicks and the Celtics, or the Heat and the Bucks, or something like that. But come on, man. I mean, it's just, you're stretching now. You're stretching to gain interest. You want people to tune in early, then schedule games that are meaningful. Schedule good games between October and Christmas.
Right.
Rather than waiting until Christmas.
Yeah.
So, again, it's I can't bring myself to even give the NBA in-season tournament a thought.
My big thing is, well, anyways, I just think it's really freaking silly. I'd rather see what's the game there with the red Solo Cups. Basically, you put in a triangle. I know it's played a lot in college.
Beer pong.
There you go. I'd rather see that. No offense. I truthfully, I'd rather see that tournament than seeing what's been going on here with the NBA.
I'd rather watch.
People are going to probably think, man, you got anything else to complain about? It's silly. Honestly, God, it really is silly.
I'd rather watch cricket.
Yep. It's really freaking silly. I know we don't get too much into motorsports. I know Get a Grip is up there in Daytona as they're having IMSA practices. They're testing out. Today was a test phase. Tomorrow, today was the prototype cars. Tomorrow, a lot of teams are going to be up there testing out for the Rolex, the 24-hour Rolex coming up in February. And Dylan's up there with Get a Grip. He will probably be coming on either Friday, give us a full report, and or Monday. I'm thinking it's probably Monday when he gets a full report of everything that's going on. Tomorrow, he's going to get more into it as the practices end up wrapping up. But the reason why I bring it up is because NASCAR debuts a new production facility. And in Concord, North Carolina, NASCAR CEO Jim France cut the ceremonial red ribbon outside a new facility located adjacent to the NASCAR R&D, which is the Research and Development Center, officially kicking off a new era for NASCAR Productions. The 58,000 square foot building is the new state-of-the-art home of NASCAR Productions, NASCAR Studios, and the Motor Racing Network. It houses more than 140 employees. The $53 million facility boasts 8 control rooms, 4 audio control rooms, 4 announcer booths, 8 editing suites, podcast studios, and 2 audio sweetening rooms. There are 3 studios, the largest of which is 1,500 square feet. Good man. Boy, oh boy. Man. Listen, NASCAR's got to do something. They got to do something to bring the fans back. They have to. See, and now this is where you guys are going to think. This is where Ryan will actually agree with me, because NASCAR really went away from a product that hit its peak and it was doing just fine selling. How many people did you ever see buying Jeff Gordon, just NASCAR jackets in general? When it hit its peak, you couldn't keep the merchandise in the small, Baltimore had a place to the north of maybe Owings Mills, if not maybe a little bit north of that. But there was only one place you could buy NASCAR gear if you lived locally. So if you lived in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania had a place up to near Oxford, I believe. But the one thing was that even if you were somewhere locally nearby, I mean, it was kind of hard to come by as far as the merchandise. But NASCAR really kind of screwed the pooch with the way they were doing things, because the product was fine. And then they decided, no, let's do this. We're going to adjust to that. Now we're going to have segmented series. It's just, I don't even watch anymore. To be honest, I don't. I'm still, I'm dying to go to Daytona 500, but at this rate, the way NASCAR is, I mean, this is going to be great. At least in my opinion, it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be wonderful for the people who are still involved with NASCAR. I'm quite sure they're going to love that building. And it's going to be a nice broadcast. I'm pretty sure there's going to be tours of it, and you'll see it, later on. They got a few pictures out there. It looks nice from some of the stuff they have up there. But again, NASCAR's to their left well enough alone, and they did it. And am I wrong, Brian?
So you can build a $53 million facility, but you can't go back to the way it used to be.
Yeah.
As far as, and this is where I'll go on a rant or a tangent. I said this for years. They went corporate. It's all about corporate money now. They don't give a rat's ass about, Joe Blue Collar Worker and his family. And if they really want to bring the fans back, I've said this before and I'll say it again, but it'll never go back to the way it used to. Just go back to the old point system. Get rid of the stages. Wherever you finish, those are the points you get. Let the teams deal with how they want to set up the cars. But everything is just so... It's just so corporate now, man. It's just so corporate. I can't stress enough. I mean, I used to be an avid follower. And then once they started tinkering and doing some strange ass shit, man, they lost me. So do I still tune in every once in a while? Yeah. I'll always tune into the Talladega races. I'll always tune into the Daytona races. I'll tune into a couple others like Bristol, Darlington. I'll always tune into, but they have just made it to the point where, the average family that was their fan base, they can't go to a race anymore. It's so corporate, Angel. I can't even begin to tell you. And what do the corporations do? Buy up all the tickets. They buy up all the spaces, and they take their companies, or they'll. It's just and you can hear me struggling because it just pains me. I went to my first race in 1975 at Pocono, and it just grew and grew and grew, and it was such a fantastic product. And then about 10, 12 years ago, they lost me, man.
Yep. It's again, when it was the Winston Cup for years, obviously everybody enjoyed it, everybody had fun. I mean, you really loved, and when I was in the military, the great thing was we went to Rockingham. It was so great. Small track. I can't tell you how many times I saw Dale Earnhardt there. The first time I ever walked through Rockingham, I had, at the time, I appreciate Dale Earnhardt, and I walked through, and my military buddies had been to the race many times before. And he told me, he said, don't worry about it. Listen, we're going to stay close here and just stay on pace with us. And they knew they were exactly what they're doing, so I went right through the middle of this group that I probably shouldn't have gone through. But knowing the guys and the way they were, it was something else. I'm like, oh, crap. This is going to be bad. And I know that folks up here really don't like the soldiers because they feel like we take all their women. And so here I walked through, and the guy said, what are you doing here, boy? I'm like, craps, man, I'm by myself. This is not going to work out well. And then his friends come all around and goes, have you lost your way, son? I'm like, boy, son, this is not going to go well. I'm like, no, listen, I'm just trying to get over to the track. My friends decided, to kind of cut through here, and unfortunately ended up taking off because the only thing that's going to save you is us. I'm like, well, is that a good thing? He goes, yeah. I said, why is that? He goes, because you're a Dale Earnhardt fan. And if you're a Dale Earnhardt fan, you can hang out with us. And then the rest of the time, beers, hot dogs, burgers, you name it. I mean, they had a slew of stuff. And I'm like, all right, this actually turned out pretty good. Eventually, I went to go see the race. First time I got the opportunity of seeing Dale Earnhardt live on the track. And it was a great time. But Rockingham, there's a NHRA track directly across the street from it. And it was such a great time. It's a shame when they shut it down. It sucked for the locals because, again, twice a year, you were able to see them up there in Rockingham. And it's a shame. It shouldn't have been that way. But unfortunately, it's just the way that it is. And it stinks the way it is. And so as we come here to the close of the show, we thank everyone for tuning in as we are quickly coming on it. Unfortunately, I do see a caller, but the show is coming to an end. So if you can, I guess, call back in tomorrow because unfortunately it is coming to a close. But thank you all for tuning in. We do appreciate it, as always, for watching us here on the social medias. Also for listening in on the app, which is vitally important to us. And we appreciate you all downloading the app as they did in Kuwait. And remember, just go to the Apple and or Google Play Store where you guys can download the app and show us the love and support here on the digital airwaves. Again, the lineup after us, come next week, it'll be A.J. Johnson with the Bleacher Brothers from 8 to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And we hope that A.J. continues to get well as he's getting ready to kick off his show next week. Then the best of throughout the night. Pete Shepard kicks it off first thing in the morning from 7 to 10 a.m. with the Pete Shepard Show, doing an outstanding job all by his lonesome with fabulous guests. Then Defo and Luby, who's been sounding so crystal clear the last couple of days. We hope that continues on. They had a great show today. They are on in the mid-mornings from 10 to 12. Then the best of run between 12 and 3 in the afternoon. Then Tony Bruno and Miss Robin come on between 3 and 6 p.m. And tomorrow, Tarico and Irving will be on. So that's going to be a great time. You guys want to listen to the show then. And then Brian and myself, we're back here 6 to 8 p.m. Martinez Company. So thank you all for listening in. Don't forget, if you drink, don't drive. We want you to arrive alive. And more importantly, we want to make sure you are able to tune into the show here again. So if you're drinking, hand the keys off to somebody else, call a cab. And until then, we'll talk to you tomorrow night. Thank you all for tuning in. Have yourselves a great night.
You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio, he perfected it.